Hey there, fellow travellers. If you've got a trip planned for May 2025 or beyond, listen up. Because travel as we know it is getting a major overhaul, and trust me, you don't want to be caught off guard at the airport. From new passport rules to changes in how we handle liquids, there's a lot to unpack. So grab your boarding pass and let's dive into everything you need to know to stay ahead of the game. First up, let's talk about the Real ID deadline. You've probably heard about this one, but here's the deal. Starting May 7th, 2025, every air traveller in the US will need a Real ID compliant licence or another approved form of identification to board domestic flights. That's right. No more using your standard driver's licence if it's not Real ID compliant. And guess what? Millions of Americans still don't have one. In fact, according to the Department of Homeland Security, only about 55% of Americans currently have a Real ID. So if you're part of that 45%, now's the time to get it sorted. Head to your local DMV, bring your documents, like a birth certificate, social security card, and proof of address, and get it done. Trust me, you don't want to be that person turned away at the gate because you didn't plan ahead. Now, let's talk about security. If you've ever been frustrated by the liquid rules, you know, the whole 3101 thing, there's some good news on the horizon. Airports are rolling out new CT scanners that will allow you to leave liquids and laptops in your bag. Yes, you heard that right. No more unpacking your entire carry-on just to get through security. These scanners are already in place at some airports like London Heathrow and Amsterdam Schiphol, but by 2025, they'll be the standard in most major airports worldwide. And here's a fun fact. These machines use 3D imaging, which is the same technology used in medical CT scans. They can detect threats with incredible accuracy, which means security lines will move faster and you'll have less hassle. Oh, and get this. Some airports are even testing scanners that can detect explosives in liquids without opening the bottle. How cool is that? Next up, European travel. If you're planning a trip to Europe after May 2025, there's a new system you need to know about, the European Travel Information and Authorization System, or ETIAS. It's not a visa, but it is a mandatory travel authorization for US citizens visiting most European countries. The application process is quick and easy. You'll just need to fill out an online form, pay a small fee, around €7 or roughly $8, and wait for approval. Most applications are processed within minutes, but it's recommended to apply at least 72 hours before your trip. Once approved, your ETIAS authorization is valid for 3 years or until your passport expires, whichever comes first. But here's the kicker. Without it, you won't be allowed to board your flight. So add this to your pre-trip checklist. And fun fact, ETIAS is expected to screen over 30 million travellers annually. That's a lot of people exploring Europe. Now, let's talk about something that's been a pain point for families for years: seating. Starting in 2025, new regulations will require airlines to seat children under 13 next to their parents at no extra cost. No more paying for seat assignments just to make sure your little one isn't halfway across the plane. This is a huge win for families and, honestly, it's about time, don't you think? According to a recent survey, over 60% of parents said they've been separated from their kids on flights, and 75% said they've had to pay extra to sit together. With these new rules, that stress will be a thing of the past. And here's a pro tip. Even with these regulations, it's still a good idea to book early and select your seats as soon. And speaking of wins, let's talk refunds. The Department of Transportation is cracking down on airlines to make refund policies clearer and more passenger friendly. If your flight is cancelled or significantly delayed, think more than 3 hours for domestic flights or 6 hours for international flights, you'll have the right to a full refund, no questions asked. Plus, airlines will be required to disclose all hidden fees up front, so no more surprise charges when you're booking your ticket. Transparency taxi. Yes, please. And here's a staggering stat. In 2023 alone, airlines issued over $10 billion in refunds to passengers. With these new rules, that number is expected to rise, but so will customer satisfaction. It's a win-win. Oh, and let's not forget about baggage. Starting in 2025, airlines will be required to compensate passengers for lost or delayed luggage within 24 hours. That means if your bag doesn't show up, you'll get money to cover essentials like clothes and toiletries. And here's a fascinating stat. In 2023, airlines mishandled over 26 million bags worldwide. That's one bag for every 100 passengers. With these new rules, that number is expected to drop significantly. Fingers crossed, right? And here's a tip. Always pack a change of clothes and your essentials in your carry-on just in case. You'll thank me later. So there you have it. The biggest changes coming to travel in 2025. From real IDs to family seating and everything in between, these updates are designed to make your journey smoother and less stressful. But here's the thing, the world of travel is always evolving, so staying informed is key. If you found this video helpful, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of our travel tips and updates. And hey, if you've got any questions or want to share your thoughts on these changes, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Safe travels, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.